What do you mean it sucks?
This pepper beef is too damn spicy.
What are you talking about? This is good.
What's up, guys? Pepper Video Spicy here. Hope you guys doing alright. So basically what you've seen already is pretty much all of the basic combos, which we basically call the bread and butter. Not necessarily basic, but more like the standard combos that you should go for as Law. And I know some of this can be a little bit tricky for those of you who are inexperienced with Tekken combos, especially with Law's combos. So this part of the video is completely optional. It's more going to walk you through some of the combos, and I'm gonna see if I can help you understand the rhythm and the timing for some of these combos. Now, in previous Tekkens, I would say that Law really had extremely easy combos, but I think this is the first Tekken where Law had a little bit of more difficult combos, mostly because of the Ender forward 4-3, back forward 4, and DSS forward 4. That Ender is really tricky, especially on the console versions with the input lag, and then on the PC version it's a lot easier, but it's still pretty tricky. It's not completely consistent, and don't worry if you can't get it. It's not something that's supposed to be easy. A lot of top players drop it in tournament matches sometimes, so you know it's not a combo that's just like, well, I can do it at any time. You can get really good at it and consistent, but you know it's not going to be perfect. It's still considered like a an above average difficulty combo. So considering that most of Law's combos are the same, if you've hopefully noticed by now, is that they all follow the pattern for the most part of launcher, forward up 3, back 2, back 2 1, screw attack, dash into forward 4-3, back forward 4, DSS forward 4. And that's pretty much all the combos you need to know with him. There are just a few combos where they don't leave Law standing, or they leave Law the opponent's at a weird angle, so you can't do back 2 1 or 4 up 3 or all that stuff. You have to do something else. So I'm gonna walk you through the basic combo right now off of down forward 2, and this will also of course apply to any other launcher that launches them the same way. So I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna be doing this. So I'm gonna be doing this off the video editor, so it's gonna be a little bit weird because the quality might jump up and down, but it'll be a lot easier for me. So you got your standard launch here. Now down forward 2 as a combo starter is fine. You can do that. It's a safe option to launch. Up forward 4 in this scenario for the frame 15 launch will do 2 more damage, which can be significant in certain parts of the round. But I prefer to go for down forward 2 because it's just a safer option, because the hop kick is of course unsafe. Now, the reason why 4 up 3 is used in Law's combos is because 4 up 3... So the reason why 4 up 3 is used a lot in Law's combos is because that 4 up 3 is neutral on block, I believe, or -1 when you're fighting using it someone in the open. But if you use it that's sort of a mix-up, or like a counter hit bait is 4 up 3, but you don't really use it too much in neutral. But the reason why it's used so much in combos is because the recovery on it is crazy good. Like, what I mean by that is that Law returns to neutral position a lot faster than any of his other moves, and it just happens to do a lot of damage because it's both a forward and a flip kick at the same time. So it does a lot of damage, and it allows Law to also recover fast so he can follow up really quickly. So it makes it really easy for combos. And then there's another back 2. When you do the back 2, pretty much you want to do the back 2 right out of 4 up 3. The 4 up 3, by the way, timing for that is pretty much as soon as you launch. There's no specific timing. It's just as fast as you can, really, or in the middle. You have to note that 4 up 3 is a high first, so you might whiff it if you wait too long. Back 2 is there's 2 back 2s, right? The reason why you have a back 2 before back 2 1 is not only damage, but it also gives wall carry. The wall carry is useful to get into the wall, of course, to create a better neutral game after you finish the combo. On an infinite stage, the wall carry is pointless, but it still does more damage, so it's useful. A little quick tip right here. If you're finding this combo hard, the back 2, just note that the back 2s, there's 2 back 2s, right? And the back 2, one of them can be omitted because the 4-4-4-3 at the end of the combo after the screw attack is harder depending on how many hits you have in the combo beforehand, launching wise. So the more hits you hit the opponent while they're in the air, the farther they go away, if you didn't know that already. So the more hits you have in your combo, before you do the shallow spin kicks into the legend kick, it's going to make it a lot harder. It's going to make the timing a lot stricter. So if you can't do this combo yet, then because of the ender, let's say just because of the ender, start doing it with just back 1 immediately after forward, 4 up 3, because that'll make it a lot easier and more lenient on the timing. And once you've got that down, you can move on to the next, upgrade it to another back 2. So the back 2 and then back 2 1. You can do the second back 2 right away, but I like to wait a little bit after the back 2 because you might mash out back 2 by accident, and that's going to end the combo. So you don't want to do that. So when I do back 2, I do back 2, and I wait just a second, like less than a second, and then I do back 2 1. And then of course it screws attack. And the back 2 1 goes really low, so it's really consistent in most combos. The only problem is that sometimes the 1 will actually whiff on off-axis combos. So you got to be a little bit careful there. So it'll be screw attack, and then you got to dash all the way up, and because you have to dash all the way up, you pretty much just run at them, and then you do forward 4 4 3. This is the thing that I want to get people to know when we're talking about this combo, is forward 4 up 3, not 4 3. Not forward 4 up 3, forward 4 3. There we go. So the reason why you do forward 4 3 instead of regular 4 3 is because forward 4 3 has a bigger hitbox and it does more damage. Because it has a bigger hitbox, it'll actually allow you to get legend kick a lot easier after the combo. After the Shaolin spin kicks. So not only does it do more damage, it lets you land legend kick a lot easier. Also, when you are doing forward 4 3 to get to the end of the combo, you want to dash in as close as you possibly can before you do the ender. So because you're dashing really, really close, it'll leave you closer when you actually do the ender into the legend kick. So that way you have even more leniency with your combo, and you'll be able to land it a lot quicker. So in short, when you screw attack, get up to them as fast as possible, hold forward, do Shaolin spin kicks, forward 4 3, and then do back forward into DSS 4. You want to be as close as possible, and you want to do the forward version of Shaolin spin kicks. These all help. Also, if there's a wall, then it's going to be really easy to land it because the Wallsplat instead, and the legend kick will have a lot easier time hitting. Now, sometimes people have trouble with the back forward from the DSS after the forward 4 3. That one, the way I practice that is that I just go into training mode and do forward 4 3, back forward 4, DSS 4 without the combo. So I just keep doing it until I constantly get DSS out of forward 4 3. One of the things that I kind of notice about forward 4 3 compared to 4 3 is that because you're doing a forward motion, the move is actually a lot slower. Actually, I think it comes out at I-14, I want to say, something around that. It's a slower move, so it comes out slower, and because of that, the timing for the DSS compared to 4 3 is a little bit off. You have to actually press forward for a lot longer, because if you're new to DSS, in short, whenever there's a certain string of laws, which I'll maybe half of his strings, when you do back forward in them, it transitions into his DSS stance. These are useful for a lot of other reasons that I covered in my DSS tutorial, that you can go check that out. But basically for this scenario, it's mostly for a combo. So you want to get DSS as soon as forward 4 3 ends. You don't want to get Dragon Fake Step, DFS, which is the one where he walks back. And if you're getting Dragon Fake Step a lot, that means you're not pressing forward at the end of the string. That basically means that the game isn't picking up that you are ending the string with forward, because the way you get DSS is that the last forward from the back forward has to happen at the end of the string, like right as it ends. If it doesn't do that, then the game just reads you as doing a back forward, and you get Dragon Fake Step, and that's really bad, because not only do you lose the damage, but you lose the also potential Okizeme, because if you do DSS but you don't get the legend kick, at least you can cancel DSS into forward 2 and then run up to a mix-up. But if you get Dragon Fake Step, that's the worst possible situation, because then you're going to spaced really, really far away from your opponent, and you lose the damage too. So the first thing I would say is you want to really make sure you get the DSS out of forward 4 3 first. That's really important, and then you can worry about the forward 4 ender. If you are getting DSS 4 instead of DSS forward 4, then you you kind of have to look for the timing. You gotta feel that you are gonna be in DSS, and now you can do forward 4. Because if you sort of hold forward and back forward at the same time, like doing both motions at the same time, you're gonna get something else. It it's going to be inconsistent. You might get forward, just DSS forward, because the game's reading you as doing 4 first instead of forward 4. So don't mash both at the same time. You want to do it in one proper order. So you want to do back forward forward, get DSS, and do back DSS forward 4. Now, it's going to get to the point, the way I'm doing it in this combo is I'm doing it without even confirming that I'm in DSS. I'm just doing it off the feel that I'm already in DSS. Like, I'm in DSS already at this pause moment, and I know that already. That's why I went for forward 4. And it's kind of just a feeling thing, and you kind of just really have to go for, wow, Oscar's hair is going crazy there. But, you have to really, really just feel for it. And it's a matter of a stepping stones, right? So first you get the DSS out of forward 4-3, and then you get the legend kick. And it's just a matter of practice. This thing is not something you learn in like a couple, an hour or so. It'll take a lot of time, especially if you're new to DSS, new to law in general. So just keep at it, and eventually, hopefully, you'll get it down. Let me see what other combos we have here. If you have any more questions about this combo, just leave a comment, ask whatever, because this combo is hard for sure. It's inconsistent even for me, so we can all help each other out with all this sorts of stuff. Okay, so for any combo that causes a flip kick, you want to use wall standing 1 most of the time, because wall standing 1 has the most damage out of wall standing. You could do wall standing 4, you could do a wall standing up forward 1, but no, wall standing 1 is going to do the most damage. You have to be careful about the wall standing 1 into the back 2, because the wall standing 1 also has a 2 extension out of it. So you want to do wall standing 1, wait a little bit, and then back 2. Don't mash it out, or else you're going to get wall standing 1, 2, and it's going to end the combo. Quick note, for junkyard kick and counter hit down 3-3, only the second hit for counter hit down 3-3 must be counter hit for there to be a combo. If both hits connect, then it's just a trip. Then you just get a knockdown. You don't get the combo. I didn't mention it here, but counter hit down 3-3 leads to a guaranteed Dragon Tails for maybe about 45 or 50 damage or so. For junkyard kick, the second hit has to counter hit to it to be confirmed. The first hit, if it's counter hit, does nothing for the combo. For this combo, 3+4, back 2-3 for DSS forward 4. This combo I think is really easy to get to learn the timing for DSS down. So I think if you want to learn DSS in a combo, this is probably a really good way to start off, is doing this combo. Also, I didn't put it here because I can't do it, but there is an even stronger combo off of 3+4-4. 3+4-4, screw attack, back, and then dash up, forward 4, up 3, and then immediately forward 4-3 into legend kick. It's really hard, but it does 10 more points. It does actually 64, so about 8 more points of damage, and that's quite a bit. So that's really significant. It's just a really hard combo. So if you can get that consistently, that's really, really strong, because that means that every whiff punish, Log gets, and I-14, Log gets 64 damage. So that's really, really crazy. I can't do it, but hopefully you can if you want to go for it. Also, in the generic combo, I omitted that you could do forward 4 up 3 instead of 4 up 3, but I don't do it because I'm just not used to it. This does give at least one or 2 points more of damage, so that's really, really good. It's just a little bit awkward because it's forward into up, so I don't play many characters that have combos like that, so it's a little bit awkward for me, but and the timing is a little bit stricter, but it's definitely not something that's super hard. So basically, again, that's just, instead of 4 up 3, you do forward 4 up 3, because kind of a general rule for a lot of characters, if you add forward to a certain string or so, like a simple string, then you do more damage with it. Okay, so for the wall carry combos, if you don't know what wall carry is a type of combo, which it's not something official, it's just like something you're feeling. Wall carry is a combo that optimizes the combo for carrying as far as possible. And in short, the reason why you would want that is because when the combo ends, the opponent's back is going to be to the wall, and they're going to be in a disadvantageous situation. So you may not get as much damage with a wall carry combo, but you will have the neutral advantage later, so that actually puts the game in your favor, plus the combo. Also, in some ideal scenarios, you wall carry just far enough so that they hit the wall and wall splat fully, so you can even do your wall combo combined with your regular combo. So that's really good. So I'm going to show the example right here, is that after the 4 up 3, instead of doing back 2, 1, I dash forward and do 1, 2, 3, and then back 2, 1 is just low enough to hit. And since Asuka actually screwed in front of the wall, I was able to do my forward 4-3 into the DSS forward 3. And that's really, really strong. So I turned normally a 62 damage combo into a 72 damage combo plus wall. So that's really, really strong. We want to think about that whenever you're playing on a stage with walls. If you cannot reach the wall, then you just want to go for the regular damage combo usually. Or if you want to kill them, then do go for your highest damage combo. Good thing about Law is that he usually doesn't have to convert into a wall carry combo, because most of his combos, as long as you do it correctly, have really strong wall carry in them, because they have a lot of hits, and they also have the legend kick at the end, which normally for a lot of characters they would not be able to hit something that goes so far away and the hit's done. So, but Law's legend kick, so that's really good. Also, if you cannot get the forward 4-3 back forward DSS legend kick consistently, you can instead opt for Okizeme mix-up, which is canceling forward 4-3 into DSS forward 2, and that'll make Law recover really fast, and then you can run up and do a mix-up on them, because you're essentially going to be free to do whatever you want, and they're still in the combo state. They'll land, of course, before you can reach them, but as soon as they land, you'll be in their face, and so you could do like a forced mix-up, like you'll have the advantage or something like that. So you can do that instead. For the Rage Drive is interesting because it leaves Law at really poor recovery, so he doesn't actually have a lot of time to do some wall damage stuff. So the two fastest options I found is you could do down 2-3 as long as you're close to the wall, and you can do back 1-2-2. Sometimes they don't land because you're just too far from the wall, but if you are at the wall, then you'll still be able to do it. This stuff with wall standing 4 back forward into DSS forward 3, this stuff is mostly fancy. I only really use this whenever I land a flip kick at the wall, because when I do flip kick at the wall, it leaves you crouching, so that's my ender. Let's see. So this is your primary ender at the wall, forward 4-3, DSS forward 3. This is essentially a buff from Tekken Tag 2, because in Tekken Tag 2, Law, this combo was still in Tag 2, but it was really, really hard. So they kind of not everybody really used it, because it was just really easy to drop in Tag 2. Like the 4-3 had a much smaller hitbox, so that meant that it was harder to land at the wall. So now they buffed it back to its Tekken 6 version, where it's a lot easier to do, and it's really simple as just canceling into DSS and doing 4-3 immediately. You might get DSS 3, but if they block that, it's only neutral and it's safe and it's a homing move, so you're still fine. It's just you missed out on damage. Also, they can't tech roll that move either because it's homing. Okay, so sometimes instead of doing forward 4-3 into DSS forward 3, you can do Junkyard into DSS. The reason why you would want to do this is because it gives better pressure game and better Okizeme post combo. So even though it does less damage, it lets you have a better wall mix up afterwards, because when you do forward 4-3 into forward 3 at the wall, they kind of just get up really fast and you'll be at the same advantage. But if you do Junkyard into DSS, you'll actually force them into a DSS mix-up, which is really good. One note about this is that the reason why there's parentheses around the 4 is because you actually have to delay the 4 a little bit, because for whatever reason, I don't really know why this mechanic is in here, but for certain strings of the wall, if you hit them while they're very low, the move will do more damage. So if I just finished Junkyard normally, it would have done 56, but because I waited, it did 60 instead. So I don't really know what's the... I mean, it did, did 60 damage instead of 56. So I don't really know what the reasoning is behind that, but it's just there. It does less damage, but you get a better Okizeme option afterwards, and usually I like to do DSS 4 after that. Also, it's better for light wall splats because back 2-3 it's not faster than 4-3, but it's easier to set up because it's a mid and has a really low hitbox, so it's a lot easier to land in scenarios where you just barely touch the wall or something like that. And some of these are just really fancy, like just 1-1-1, 2-2-2, 1+2, that's just for fancy. A forward 4-3 is the old ender for Law at the wall for easy mode, I guess, but it's not something you really go for unless you just want guaranteed damage, because something you're scared something might whiff, because usually double flip kicks will hit at the wall. No, I've been talking for 20 minutes. That's crazy talk. and I think that's most of the breadth of Law's combos. Like, his combos are all very similar. They all follow a very similar structure, so you pretty much only need to learn one combo with some slight variations with Law to really play him in terms of combos. So I think he's easy in that respect. It's just the legend kick ender at the end is pretty hard, but you can definitely go for it. Also, there is an easier variation to forward 4-3 DSS forward 4, which is forward 4-2-1-3. That doesn't hit after the second back 2, so back 2 1 doesn't hit because it's too far. But if you're really just not comfortable with Law yet in that combo, but you want to do like at least something, then you can opt forward 4-2-1-3 instead, and that's a lot easier and it'll be more consistent. Okay, so I think that's it for Law's combos, so I hope this helped you guys out, and if you have any more trouble with Law's combos, or you have more questions about Law's combos or whatever, leave a comment, send me a message, whatever. Okay, follow me on social media, see you later.